Margaret Henderson from Concord, Massachusetts, was just 15 when she attended the 1936 Olympics held in Berlin, Germany.
I grew up in Concord, Massachusetts, and my school had a school trip of the summer of 1936, and we went to a number of countries, but we spent 3 days in Berlin in 1936, and I attended the opening of the Olympic Games, and at that time I saw Adolf Hitler in person and saw that he wouldn't shake Jesse Owens' hand when he won his race. And I happened to also be at the edge of a road that same day, and he came along in a touring car. And that evening, we had been billeted or stayed in different homes in Berlin, and the family that we stayed with happened that night, took us into a room and closed the doors and told us that terrible things were going on in Germany, and that their own children, who were in the Hitler Youth, would turn them in if they found them telling us. But they asked us, there were 3 of us in this house or apartment, to go back to the U.S. and tell them that dreadful things were going on in Germany.
The summer of 1941 marked the height of Nazi power. Following Germany's conquest of most of Europe, her armies now drove deep into Russia. German victory hung on one simple question: could Nazi U-boats sink Allied cargo ships faster than the British and Americans could replace them? If so, the English could be starved out of the war, leaving the United States to stand alone. By 1942, the Germans were on the verge of winning that crucial struggle. Margaret was a senior at Radcliffe College in 1943 when she was recruited by the government to serve the war effort. She soon found herself an ensign in the Navy, assigned to a communications intelligence office in Washington, D.C. Her job in the top-secret office was to help keep track of German U-boats prowling the Atlantic Ocean.
At that time, that was 1943, the Allies were beginning to get a hold of the U-boats. They were sinking shipping right and left, but we had captured one of their codes, or had broken one of their codes, the Triton code, so that communications from the U-boat skippers was being intercepted. And I think at the same time radar had been perfected. But anyway, my particular job in that office was to keep track of the German U-boats, and we had the German translators in our office. The decoded messages from the U-boats giving their position, longitude, latitude, were wired right into that office, and the German translator then took the decoded messages and handed me the message, and then I took the pins. I had a huge map covering the Atlantic from Stavanger, Norway to the Indian Ocean, and every U-boat a pin I had to move depending on where they were.
Thanks to revised convoy tactics, advances in radar, breaking Germany's radio code, and the efforts of thousands of dedicated veterans like Ensign Henderson, the U-boat menace was decisively defeated.